Okay, we can start now. We are ready from the Patukaliya point of view.
Yes, Swamin Wahanse.
Yeah, we can start.
Yes, I Swamin Wahanse. Today I am joined by Venerable Sivali, Venerable Kovida, and two other participants. We are reading from the Sangyutta Nikaya. I will read the English translation, and Venerable Dhammakovida will read the Sinhala and Pali translations. This is Sangyutta Nikaya, Sagatavagga, Devata Sangyutta, Jaravagga, and the sutta we discussed today is Mitta Sutta. Mitta Sutta. And Bhikkhu Bodhi has translated this sutta as the friend. The friend. So I will hand over to Dhammakovida to start us off.
අවසරයි ස්වාමීන් වහන්ස. නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. කිංසු පවසතෝ මිත්තං කිංසු මිත්තං සකේ ගරේ කිං මිත්තං අන්තජාතස්ස කිං මිත්තං සම්පරායි කන්ති. සත්තෝ පවසතෝ මිත්තං මාතා මිත්තං සකේ ගරේ සහායෝ අන්තජාතස්ස හෝති මිත්තං පුනප්පුනං සයං කතානි පුඤ්ඤානි තම්මිත්තං සම්පරායි කන්ති. බහැර වසන්නහුට මිත්‍රයා කවරෙක්ද? සිය ගෙහි මිත්‍රයා කවරෙක්ද? කටයුතු ඇත්තහුට මිත්‍රයා කවරෙක්ද? පරලොව මිත්‍රයා කවරෙක්ද? බහැර වසන්නහුට සාත්තුව වරහන් තුල තවලම මිතුරාය. සියගේ මිතුරා මවය. කටයුතු ඇත්තහුට යහළුවා නැවත නැවත මිතුරා වෙයි. තමා විසින් කරන ලද පින් ඒ පරලොව මිතුරා වෙයි.
Asai Swaminanse, the friend. What is the friend of one on a journey? What is the friend in one's own home? What is the friend of one in need? What is the friend in the future life? The Buddha responds, a caravan is the friend of one on a journey. A mother is the friend of one's own home. A comrade, when the need arises, is one's friend again and again. The deeds of merit one has done, that is the friend in the future life. That's the end of the sutta.
Very good, very practical. So you have to understand our journey is with a friend. So as far as we are in this existence, we need friends. That's a socialization. That means plurality. But the ultimate message of the Buddha is away from the plurality, and when you are liberating, nothing left to the society. So therefore, as far as you are be with people, but have friends. As far as the machine is running, we have to get lubrications. We have to put oil. But the engine is stopped, no lubrication is necessary, no grease necessary. That is sineha, is the what we call grease. It is a lubricant. The whole world, happiness is depending upon the lubricants. So that is why when the technology is increasing, they are very smoothly moving, the clutch plate, brakes, suspension, everything, but well lubricated, and then you feel the comfort in the journey. But if it is stopped, like an armchair, it is not necessary. So likewise, as far as we are working, as far as we are dynamic, as far as we are moving, friends are necessary. To stop it, to calm, stand still, no friends necessary. Even your past merits not necessary. Because of the opportunity. Don't try to accumulate more merits with the hope of the future. That is also we are disturbing your present moment awareness. So therefore this is a very good one for the social life. As well as for the kids, because they can't live alone. They have to have friends. And when you become very old, you can't live alone. You have to have. But in the middle age, you are better off. you can be unto yourself and live it. And then best friend is you yourself. Who Pandita Sayadaw used to say, people are claiming to the world is very selfish, very difficult to find noble friends, and therefore whatever we do, we'll never get the proper return. The Sayadaw says, you are the best friend to yourself. The day you become best friend to yourself, the whole world will be a friend to you. But if you do not know how to be a best friend, how to sit comfortably, how to sleep comfortably, how to walk comfortably, how to stand still comfortably, then you are expecting that from the outside. So with that two perspectives, you have to look at this Mitta Sutta. So everywhere when we are functioning, when we are socializing, when we are in the plurality, we need friends. When you get a good friend, your spiritual journey is utterly disturbed. So they are towards a worldly development. Your good spiritual friend is first yourself, and then the other person setting the role model for Nibbana in this very life. So therefore you have to find people, friends for worldly development and the transcendental development. But we have criteria, we have all the measurements to measure the worldly development, gross national production, per capita development, production, all the kind of things. But what about the gross national happiness? No yardstick. That's what the Bhutan is presenting to you in gross national happiness. So likewise, you must understand how to be a friend with yourself. When you are sitting, when you are looking at the breath, at the best moment, you become yourself. No friction, friend to yourself. When you are walking in a flat ground, without bends and kind of thing, and you are walking, you become best friend. When you are doing something, if you are doing mindfully, you become your best friend. And that is, you are endowed with, you have everything. But you are not. You think that we need something additional, then only we become completed. That means our slavery. By now, we are contented. Nothing to worry. So therefore, try to be your best friend, you will get the best friend. Good. Again. Any other friends in the discussion?
Yes, we have one friend here. His name is Venerable Sivali.
Yeah.
Avasarai Soinansa, I was participating in the previous discussion, so I was waiting till my chance comes, but the session was ended. Now I would like to add my one of my comment regarding to last discussion. So Bhante was telling this thing that the water, the kind of like people are looking the wetness in water. So I have heard this quote, Bhante, so I remembered it, and I would like to present this to all the other who are listening. So it is said by one of the sage has lived in India named Kabir, and he says, I laugh when I hear that fishes in the water is thirsty. I laugh when I hear that people go on pilgrimage to find God. I remember this when Bhante was giving the last speech. So that's all I want to add, Bhante. That's it. Avasarai, Bhante.
Good, accepted. So we can do with the English medium sutta, the Mitta Sutta. If any comments available, we have space.
Yes, Avasarai Bhante.
Yeah.
Now that we are talking about friends and being a friend to ourselves, I recall to mind one thing I read, that how we can be a friend to ourselves, or how we can be ourselves all the time, is to accept whatever is happening in the present moment. So for example, if you're angry, don't pretend that you're not angry. Or if you want something, don't pretend that you don't want something. Or if you're sad, don't pretend that you're happy. Just be whatever is there at that moment. And when we are like this, then we befriend ourselves. We feel compassion or metta towards ourselves, and in that way we can be ourselves all the time. This is one way I think us meditators can befriend ourselves and not create any friction in the mind by just accepting ourselves the way we are.
No, this is possible only for an Arahant. That's why after becoming an Arahant, you are a good friend. But the message is not necessary. But instead now you can have the prepared mind. You can have the mindset, accept anything. So that means it's opposite of it is non-reaction or suspended decision or choiceless awareness. So the mindfulness, according to the Theravada tradition, never give these synonyms. So therefore, when I try to explain mindful school, traditional Buddhist says, Bhante Dhammajiva is telling is not in Tipitaka. Tipitaka never explained the sati like that. But I wouldn't have become a monk unless otherwise these synonyms are there. Choiceless awareness, evilly suspended attention, suspended decision, and choicelessness. So they were so bright for me because I was at that with a full of choice, full of decisions, and full of poking fingers into the others. Therefore, it was a big psychological change for me. It took 8 years for me to just to accept this, because otherwise it is my duty to influence people, get the job done, and to give a role model and becoming a hero. And that is a birth characteristic in me. But with that choiceless awareness only, I became I think a successful monk. Because that mindfulness is having, therefore, what Osada is explaining is the ultimatum. But have a hope about that, so that we have to have the association with the people. The people must understand you are now different. Well, you are with the adamant. Adanagahi duppatinisagi. Whatever you hold, you never change, you can't give it up. But you are now slowly giving it up for the benefit of the people, for the benefit of the communication. And likewise, you see that even if you give up your hard belief things, nothing happens. Exactly the same. So likewise, you develop the friendliness, and with the hope one day you will become Arahant, that where you find a frictionless path. No friction. And always you are at comfort zone. So that is what the Buddha means. The term Buddha is a prabuddha, is an awakened person. No friction, non-coercive. Apannaka. Just be. So that is what the Taoism say, just be with the nature, with the people around you, with the tools what you available. Don't go for the unavailable things and unavailable great teachers. We are now in the present moment, the happiest moment. So therefore, first of all, you have to be friendly with yourself. You have to understand your emotional body, chemical body knowledge, and the problem confronted with. And then you have 1001 answers. If you have with only blinkers only, you can't see out of the box. But now, in Katukelya, we daily work, and there we learn how to imprompt, how to improvise. Whenever the thing is not there, how can we use the other tool instead? Or how to make tools. So therefore, we are making jobs, we are making tools, we are making troubles. So we are happy. We don't worry. We won't worry thinking that we are making troubles to others. Because we have troublemakers and trouble lovers. So then, like, life is go show. we are happy. I think we are happy. There may be some not happy events, but we have to have that kind of compassion for that also. Have some exceptions. Okay?
Swamin Wahanse, still on the topic of friends, could you explain to us how people living in such an environment as this, they're meditators, they're all working towards the spiritual goal. How can we be friends? Is being friends just like holding hands and, chatting and giving and joking around, just that friendly atmosphere that most people think is what should be friendly? Here in the outside world, that is what people would think, but here in this environment where it's quite solemn, it's quiet, everyone is observing silence, everyone keeps to themselves. How can we still be friendly with each other when we are required to keep to ourselves all the time?
Worldly people most physical friendliness, body to body. Oh, that is what they love so much of sex. It's a physical thing. But in the monk's life, in the yogic life, the physical and mental both. So mental happiness is with the dissociation. Physical happiness is with the association. But even if you are appreciating dissociation, if you are completely isolated, Buddha is not appreciating. There were monks, they used to dry their excess food and keep it, and following day put some hot water and eat it, because he do not wish to go Pindapata, because he had to meet people. And so he managed to live in a carnal ground days without seeing people. And then Buddha asked, why you are doing like that? He says, I don't like meeting people, so that I preserve some kind of food, dried food. And no, it is not. It is not according to the monastic rule. Daily you have to go. You have to understand the friction in going there and collecting food with what kind of difficulties. They are earning these foods. And they are, by offering, they are earning some merits. You are part and partial. So therefore your complete solitude is kind of a madness. Is kind of eccentric. Buddha never appreciated that. But that does not indicate that you are a slave to the society. You must have your own time. And you have time for the socialization also. That's what the religious performances are. Pujas and kind of thing. You must have that skill also. Because the people do not have that in this very life idea. They want to have a child. They want to have a prosperity. They want to have kind of... So you, if they wish blessing, you have to give it. But you must not be a slave. So that balance is changing from the lay life or ignorant lay person to the learned lay person and become an Sotapanna. You can see your social life is changing, evolving. And even the other people right around also can see. Earlier you may be highly social people, and now you know the moderation. Earlier you may be a highly solitude person, now you know the moderation. So that moderation is a social evolution, because we individually do nothing. Because we are born with people, living with people and dying with people. So therefore you must understand how to get a distance. But you get a distance from the pain. It is called clinical distance in the surgery. The surgeon cannot feel the patient. He must do it like a lock. That surgeons are not allowed to operate one's own child. So they become emotionally connected. They can't. They are not professional. They must get a clinical distance. So likewise in the pain happens, when kind of perception happens, when kind of manipulations are happening, you can do it. But still with a distance. little bit of distance. So that distance may be with the lubricant. You put a lubricant. They are moving in two different speeds. So put a little lubricant. So likewise, that is a must for the chief monk in any Nikaya or any Pirivena or any place, because he must know how to tackle with the lay people and the disciples and how to make a harmony and management and priority selection. He must be there. So therefore, it must take 20 years after the Upasampada. Then only you become a Thera, Mahathera. You know how to do and what to do. But newcomers, they must be under the protection of the Theras, and they must do only what the Theras are appointed. So Thera also must expose them slowly into different things to see their merits and their progress. So it's a vast system approach. Only through friendliness we can understand it. Our skill and our born merits and the climate we are living and the necessity, all these things. That is why the Buddhism thrives for 2,600 years all over the world. There's one person, he showed where the portable sanctities are there. Sometimes Buddha image, sometimes a Bodhi leaf, sometimes a palm leaf, or a monk. Everywhere he put a world map and say, these are the portable sanctities. It's not only in India. All the other people, other religions, they are not international religions. They are limited to their climate. Only the Hinduism in India and Muslim for the deserts and Zoroastrianism to the Persia. But they can't spread because they don't know how to adapt into the situation. So adaptation is something related to the friendliness. So I am so lucky to see Venerable Jnanarama and Venerable Pandita Sayadaw. They are real masters. They are living in the society but make their solitude and teach in the international level, but don't take it as a burden. They express, they make the link between the old age and the modern area and share it. And any person can question them and any person can reach them, but their silent sermon is much louder than the sermons. They are living such an exemplified life. So I am so happy, but I am not a good disciple. I am not doing what the Venerable Jnanarama is doing. I am not doing what the Venerable Pandita Sayadaw is doing, but I am happy all the time because I have seen, to my very eyes, how they are profound, how they are contented with the Theravada Sasana. But they are the best friend, but very difficult to associate. They don't hug you. They don't kiss you. They don't say good morning. No, nothing. They are the same. So we feel internally they have the broad-minded idea, not like shaking hands and saying hi and good morning and kind of thing. All of things are not so good when you have corona. You can't have the shake hand. Corona is not happy with the contact. So they started how do you call, respecting with both the hands together, because otherwise corona will spread. Or otherwise just have a knock rather than shaking hand. Boris, UK President, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson and the Donald Trump both got corona. They are the social people, hug and shake hand. Won't work. But say namaste, no harm, you get a distance. So this is the way we are learning these things. So when you are developing from the ignorant lay person to the Sotapanna, that's a huge evolution in the human mind. Buddha says it is maximum 7 years. Within that it can happen. It can happen through friendliness.
Well said, Swaminwanse. Just to reflect on...
10 more minutes.
Yes, Swaminwanse, to reflect on something else you said about solitude and friendship. I know of a yogi who, during his first few months after Pabbaja, he felt like he really needed to stay in complete solitude, away from everyone, because he was thinking that the problems that he's experiencing is because he's having to interact with others. So he felt like, I really need to stay in solitude. But as time went by, his view about it started to change. He started seeing that it's not the people who are causing him problems, but it is his own mind. And so he started becoming more friendly to himself. He started becoming more open and more courteous and just friendly with his fellow colleagues in the noble life. And also, there's one sutta, I believe it's the Sariputta Sutta, where Sariputta asked the Buddha what a monk should not fear. And the Buddha said, among other things, like, wild animals or mosquitoes and all those kind of critters, the Buddha says that a monk should not fear contact with people, contact with others. So that was just a reflection that I had in mind when you were speaking.
That's a classic kind of a writing you can find in the Samantapasadika, if I'm correct, page number 64 in Sinhala. And English may be different. It says the Buddha was living Neranjayang Virati Asoka Naleru Puchimanda Mule. Neranja is the village. One tree, Goraka, I don't know how to say in English. The Goraka is a kind of plum. We use it for sour taste in curry, making curries. Goraka. And that tree is possessed by a devil, a yakka, called Narelu. So people don't go there, because that yakka will eat you. So Buddha is living under that tree and go to the Pindapata for Veranja. And then he says, why two places? The commentator is asking. So whenever he want to become socialized, he go to the village. And whenever he need the solitude, he come to the Naleru Puchumandamule. That means Yakka's place. Whenever he feel hungry, he go to the village. And when the stomach is filled, he come to the forest. Whenever he is having compassion, he go to the forest, village. Whenever he is wise, wisdom, he come to the Goraka tree. And whenever he is concerned about the people, he go to the village. Whenever he is concerned with the Devas, Brahmas and kind of thing, come to the Goraka tree. So likewise, there are a number of perspectives. Karunaya Upagamanam, Panyaya Apagamanam. With the Karuna, he go to the village, but when the Panya happen, he come to the solitude. So the Buddha says always there should have a balance. Muni Charanti, Buddha says it is like Muni, he going to the village by house, and he let them householders to cook something so that they can give Pindapata. So therefore they are not cooking for themselves. If the monks are coming, they have to cook. At 10 o'clock they have to be prepared. So likewise Buddha says the monks are cooking at their individual places and just like bees go to the flower and without disturbing the flower, it takes the pollen as well as the honey. And the flower is the flower. And the flower get the fertilization. So the Muni or the yogi is like a bee. Going flower to flower, collect the pollen and the honey and make a beautiful, how do you call, panacea, the honey. So, you can't, by looking at the flower, you can't see the pollen, sometimes maybe, but the bee, the honey, dew, very difficult. So likewise, the Muni is a dynamic feature in the village. This is not a completely silent statue. That Buddha is not like. He is a dynamic person, but teaching in a silent sermon. No much of contact, but the contacts also giving a vibration. Be mindful and mind your own business. It is not friendly, but that is a message. Be mindful, mind your own business. You must understand in this very life, not having a lot of children and a lot of properties and a lot of lands and all the kind of things. It is necessary for the sasana to continue, but must understand karunaya upagamanam, panyaya apagamanam. So some people started writing them, but you can get the full quotation from the Samantapasadika in Veranja Khanda, why the Buddha is going to the village and coming to the forest. And Sikhi, Vesabu, both the Buddhas, they never went out of the forest. Only the people no fear, they come to the forest, and Buddha says, Anicca Dukkha Anatta, they enlighten. But Gautama the Buddha, lot of association with the kings and the rich people and the medium class people and lowly people. And that's why 2,500 years, still we have the sasana. Because of the Buddhas, the external Buddha sasana, not only the internal. Internal is paralyzed. But for the moment, in the religious aspect, they are talking about the external sasana, never the internal sasana. So now we are in a transitional period. We have enough external sasana. Now we have to concern about the internal sasana, but it must also balance with mittata, with the friendliness.
Avatarai Bante, from this side, Vimal Disanayaka raised his hand to talk.
Yes.
Yeah. Over to you, Vimal.
Yeah, thank you, Kumar. Avatarai Bante, I think I can hear. Actually, the mittata is nice way explain and discuss. In this sutta particularly, 4 types of mitta I found in Anguttara Nikaya Cakkanipata, another 6 type of mitta. We usually in Dhamma discussion heard about Kalyana mitta, Papa mitta. Sort of that is the main separation of mittata. I mean, in that sense, mittata also classify in various ways, but rightly in the discussion, discuss mitta to yourself, friend to yourself and to other external. In the Satipatthana Sutta also mentioned the Ajjata Bahidha sort of thing classification. How would classification, I mean, by classification we can understand and the datum for the mitta, Kalyana mitta, Papa mitta, friend to yourself and others sort of things actually. Those things I want to share in the discussion. Much merit for the time.
Now, this sutta is asking 4 questions and 4 answers. It is not talking about the how to become one's own mitta. I only presented it. It says the external mitta. Your own mitta is your own past merits. That is for the physical life. The past merits must support to your morality and the concentration and the wisdom that you have to have manipulated. It by itself, past merits won't give the sila. You have to observe sila, you have to restrain. That is kind of a wisdom. And then if it is correct, samadhi will come. That's a verification. And with that samadhi, you again go to the panyasika. And that is doing nothing. So that kind of a thing, not mentioned directly in the sutta. That's why I presented. And mitta is, definition is a dynamic one. So it is evolving. As you are becoming ignorant person to the learned person, and from the learned person to the practicing person, that when the evolution happens, you become different relationship with yourself or your subconscious and yourself. So that is what the Western psychology wanted to analyze, but you are analyzing with defiled mind. It's just deductive analysis. They can't go to the cheating and the perversions and that kind of thing. But the Buddha start analyzing after purifying of the mind and talking with unpurified people. So you have to use a very limited language to teach others. When it is happening, they also become Buddha. And they also can analyze one's own life, how was the evolution. So that means the term meaning of the mitta itself is evolving. So that you can't do it in plurality. You have to do it by here, now, I am a kind of a atmosphere. But today education is not leading to it. Today education is leading to the physics, geography, chemistry, biology, extrovert. Therefore, self-exploration is called insight. Look inwardly. Not that it is leading to Nibbana, but that is what lacking. We have enough knowledge through Google. But insight knowledge, Google also will do. But that bloody fellows don't know. They have never heard that Buddha arose in the world. They bloody fellows are just manipulating data. But this is something different. So therefore, something like sati, mitta, also evolving concept. Never the hold into the same frame. So we can have different analysis. Thank you, Vimal, for showing the other perspectives also.
Amen. So much merits.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now it is 9:30. If there are no other comments,
excuse me, Swaminatha, we have a comment
anyway,
from
we
here.
are open to anyone who...
අවසරයි සාමින්නාංශ, when I hear the discussion, the example of lotus leaf came up to my mind, that living with the society and even without detaching and even without soaking it, just being kind of like running around the leaf, and sometimes it drops. So that is my comment, Bhante. Avasarයි Bhante.
Yeah, it says that water drop on the petal and the abatter at the edge of the needle. Abatter, how to say? It's custard. No.
Bhante,
was searching about
mustard seed.
Mustard seed, if you can't take it from a needle. Mustard seed, even keep the needle up, whatever the mustard seed you put nothing balance upon that. So likewise, we have to live in like a needle or like a water drop in the petal leaf. So these are last time in the Dhammapada, that was the Gatha, the Venerable recited, Aragyeva Sasapo. At the end of the needle, no mustard seed can hold. Even if you poke, even you pour, nothing happens. So likewise, they are very social examples. So Buddhist monk is something like that. Utterly living in the society, but detached. But giving a good message to the society and expect nothing. So renunciation is such a thing. So it is costing nothing, but difficult for a lay person to think about. But lucky enough, the Buddha saw Buddha to be Ledek Mahallek Malakadak Paviddek. He see a old person, dead person, sick person as and monk, not a Buddhist monk. So that is the spark he got it. This is the way. So at the same day he renounced. So likewise, examples are available, but how to incorporate into your life? Lucky we were happy on the Buddha Sasana. In our age, the Buddha Sasana was there, so we can taste it. But I can see many people, they are so learned that they don't know how to incorporate it. So they have good talkers, but when you are going to do it, that is the part happening in the bhavana. So we have to not only learn it, but to put them into practice. That is why I say that be mindful and mind your own business. Okay? Dhammo sada.
Yes, Swamin Wahanse. Shall we wind up for today?
Either you have to go, or otherwise wind up.
Okay, I will choose to wind up. I say Swamin Wahanse, for the merits that we have accumulated, discussing, sharing, listening to the Dhamma, we would like to extend these merits to our teachers, our parents, our relatives, all celestial beings, and to all beings, big or small, gross or subtle, far or near, seen and unseen. May all the Devas protect the Dhamma exposition and the Buddha Sasana for a long time, and may the seeds of Dhamma in our hearts grow to produce path fruition and Nibbana. I invite everyone to join in the recitation of the traditional Pali verses for the sharing of merit.